couple of weeks ago, a startup company based in San Francisco announced a new 4K 360 camera. So this new company is called Rylo, and it hasn't shipped out yet to my knowledge as of today, November 14. Nonetheless, on Amazon, you'll find 36 product reviews for it, all of them 5 stars. Are those reviews real or are they fake? Let's check them out. So first, let me talk to you about Rylo. So Rylo is a 4K 360 camera. The resolution is 3840 by 1920, and it's fully spherical. And it has several features such as image stabilization, and like I said, it could show a 360 video as a 16 by 9 full HD video. It also has object tracking, so when you shoot a video, it can follow a subject around and frame the full HD video as if you had an intelligent tripod. So these features are great, and there were many general tech websites that reported on the Rylo and highlighted these features, lionizing them as innovative and groundbreaking features. Game-changing, according to one of them. And these features are really useful, but the thing is, they've already been done before. In fact, there's another 360 camera that's already been on sale for the last couple of months that already has them. It's called the Insta360 ONE. And, in fact, it kind of looks like the Rylo. So before we talk about the Insta360 ONE, let's talk about the Amazon reviews on Rylo. Like I said, there are, as of today, November 14, there are 36 product reviews, and they all are supposedly from beta testers. And they're all 100% 5 stars, 100% positive, not a single negative thing said in these reviews. And I've read every one of them. And the thing is, when you look closely, if you, out of those 36 reviews, 15 of them have only one review. The Rylo is their only review from that reviewer. And then another 9 have only 2 product reviews. The Rylo plus one other product. Not a single one of those other products is a tech gadget like another camera or even camera accessory. Nothing. It's like shoes, books, like household objects, weird things like that. I think there are a couple that have 3 reviews. Actually, there's one with 3 reviews, and then another one where they had 4 reviews, but the Rylo was their 3rd review, and their other review was just like immediately after the Rylo, and it was for like a shoe or something. There was one more reviewer who had 4 reviews. Before the Rylo, their preceding review was written back in 2009. I'm not saying that Rylo hired these guys to write these reviews, because I wouldn't know how to determine that. So there's this website called fakespot.com, and they try to identify fake reviews on Amazon, Yelp, and other sites. So I plugged in Rylo. I just copied the product URL, pasted it here, and analyzed. And came back with F. It notes that only 13% of the reviews are reliable, 86.7% are low quality, and that their engine has determined that there's high deception involved. The other thing is, even though there are 36 product reviewers who said they were all beta testers, there is to date not a single 360 video, not a single 360 photo out there. No one has posted one. If you go on Rylo's website, there's a section called Shot on Rylo, where they show like a full HD video that was supposedly taken from a 360 video. But the thing is, you can't really know for sure if that was really from the Rylo or not until they actually show the 360 video. Then we don't know. The lack of samples is what really bothers me about this 360 camera, and I've contacted the company several times to ask them to show samples. I've asked them, first I asked them, hey, can you lend me the camera? I didn't say give me the camera, just lend me the camera. I told them, hey, I have a lot of readers who are interested in 360 cameras, etc. They declined to do that. That's fine. So I said, like, hey, can you send samples? I've asked them a couple of times. No response. Like I said, if there are 36 beta testers who are like so impressed by this camera, why don't they post a 360 video out there, like on YouTube. It's so easy. I'm sure they'll get a lot of views. By contrast, there's this other camera, like I said, the Insta360 one, that's kind of similar. And when Insta360 released this camera, they released samples straight out of the camera, totally unedited. Not one, but like I think 6 or something, and both photos and videos. They want to be totally transparent, so you can see the contrast between them. Instead of talking about the hype around this camera, let's talk about the actual facts. So let's, like I said, there's this other 360 camera that's already out there that's very similar. It's called the Insta360 ONE. Let's compare them. There's several similarities. Both of them are 4K 360 cameras with built-in image stabilization, and both of them have the ability to present a 360 video as a non-360 video. In the case of the Rylo, this is done supposedly through the app. In the Insta360 ONE's case, there are 2 ways to do it. One is through the app, and one is on the desktop. And by the way, the desktop software for it, Insta360 Studio, is free. You can download it, use it with any 360 camera, do the same thing. And they've been doing that since at least July of 2015. So this is not like a brand new feature the way some websites would describe it. Both of them also have an optional waterproof case. In the case of the Insta360 ONE, it's already available. For Rylo, I don't know if it's already available or it's just a future accessory. They both also have time lapse. Now let's talk about Rylo's advantages. So Rylo is made of aluminum, whereas the Insta360 ONE is made of plastic. So presumably the Rylo would be more durable if you drop it. Who knows about the lens? Rylo also has an OLED display, so you'll see like probably indicators like the battery life and things like that. Whereas the Insta360 ONE doesn't have a display on the camera itself. You'll have to connect it to the app. Now, another feature of the Rylo that's new is this they call it front back. That means that in addition to having a 16:9 full HD video, they can superimpose like a picture-in-picture view from the other side. So you could show, for example, your reaction to something that you're shooting. So meanwhile, so those are the Rylo's advantages. Now let's talk about the Insta360 ONE's advantages. So first of all is the aperture. The Rylo has an aperture of f2.8, whereas the Insta360 ONE has an aperture of f2.2. So that's a 2/3 stop advantage. So that's around, let's say, 60-something percent, 67% more light that you would get from the Insta360 ONE. So usually this would mean less noise. The second is the photo resolution. The Rylo's resolution is 18 megapixels, so that's around 6000 by 3000, whereas the Insta360 ONE's resolution is 6912 by 3456, so that's a 32% difference. The Insta360 ONE can also shoot in Adobe DNG RAW format, so photographers know that you'll be able to adjust the color temperature as you wish, and you'll have more exposure to latitude. Insta360 ONE also has 4K live streaming, whereas Rylo, they don't mention anything about live streaming. Insta360 ONE also has Tiny Planet live streaming. In fact, it's one of the very few 360 cameras with that feature. Insta360 ONE also has a tripod connector here, so you can attach it to a tripod, whereas the Rylo doesn't seem to have a built-in tripod connector. It does have kind of like a frame around it that has a GoPro style adapter, so you could connect it that way, but unless you bring that with you, it doesn't have a built-in tripod connector. The Insta360 ONE can be controlled wirelessly, so you can put it on a tripod, for example, and you can be at a distance from it and control it with your phone. The Rylo can't do that. The Insta360 ONE has a built-in lightning connector, so you can attach it directly to your phone. The Rylo requires a cable. The Insta360 ONE has a feature called bullet time, where you can spin the camera around you with a selfie stick or a string that's included, and it's going to capture a 360 view around you, and at very high speed at 120 FPS. And finally, the most important feature of the Insta360 ONE is free capture. free capture means that you can view the 360 video as a full HD video, but you're using the phone to shoot the full HD video. And that's a critical difference, because what it means is that the resulting video will look very natural. It will appear as if you are shooting with a normal camera, and by the way, it's going to be stabilized, and this looks more natural than kind of like a robotic movement or panning motion, which is what happens when you use a keyframing technique the way it's done with Rylo. So, and finally, the price. The Rylo is $499. The Insta360 is $299. So is the Insta360 definitely better than the Rylo? We don't know for sure, because ultimately it depends on image quality, and unfortunately, because there are no true 360 samples of Rylo, it's hard to tell. You can't really use the specs alone, because there are cameras with higher specs that look worse than some cameras with lower specs. In my site at 360 Rumors, I emphasize the importance of a hands-on experience with a camera, so that you can really know what it's really like. And that's, in fact, I created a 360 camera comparison tool so that you can compare actual samples from 360 cameras side by side in identical conditions. Until we have something like that from the Rylo, it's not really possible to judge whether it's better or worse in the Insta360 However, the facts are that the Insta360 does have more features, and there are no samples posted from the Rylo. Instead, they have 36 product reviews that are uniformly positive from beta reviewers who have not posted a single sample 360 video. And by the way, one of them showed what looks like a portrait view of a photo. It's not a 360 photo. It's just like a kind of like a screenshot almost, and you can't really tell anything from it. And out of those 36 reviewers, around 27 or so are at least somewhat suspicious. So those, and finally, the Insta360 is $200 less than the Rylo. So those are what we know so far. Hopefully, when the Rylo ships, more people will actually post real user samples, so that we can see for ourselves whether the Rylo is a good camera. I mean, maybe it is, and that's great for the 360 community, but so far I'm kind of skeptical. So I hope you found this video helpful. For more information on 360 cameras and accessories, go to 360rumors.com, the home of the ultimate 360 camera comparison tool. So please hit the like button and please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks very much.